What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Scary If Literal Revived, the podcast, episode number 1. I am your host, as always, I guess always, it's the first one, Shane Craig, and joining me is the lovely Jessie Craig.
Hello.
Boy, it's been a long time since we've introed a podcast. Mm-hmm. I think I nailed it, though. I think I still remember how to do it. So some of you guys may remember way back in the day, there was a podcast called XP Earn that we did 102 episodes of until then we stopped.
Yes.
And that was, I think that was 47 years ago. It's hard to believe it's been that long.
It's given me a lot of nostalgia.
But here we are, we're back, and we're using the same intro music because, damn it, I made that music and it's mine. Oh, it's mine, so I'm gonna keep using it as long as I damn well please. And now that we're back doing, the stuff on the YouTubes and the Twitches and things like that, we figured why not try bringing back to podcast, see if we've got anything new to say about the world of video games. And, so here we are. We're back.
In black.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you're wearing black pants.
I am wearing black, for sure. And you are, too.
Neither one of us are, in fact. Black. We were both Caucasian.
No, I said in black.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misheard. I thought you said we're back and black, and that would be wrong. That's not true.
Huge change.
Yeah, a lot has changed. We've changed a whole new perspective to talk from.
In black.
So something we used to do on the show, we'd start off each episode by kind of talking about what we've been playing or watching, things we've sort of consumed in the multimedia sense since the last episode. So what better way to start than to start off by doing that again?
Mm-hmm. So
I don't know about you, but lately, the only two things I've been really playing lately have been Valorant and Apex Legends. And I'm starting to get back into Apex a little bit. I don't know if back into it's appropriate because I never was really into it to begin with, but I'm starting to kind of get into Apex a little bit, starting to enjoy it. But Valorant's the one that really
grinds your gears.
Really grinds my gears. That game frustrates me more. It made me have to adopt a sort of Zen kind of mindset where I'm trying to not feel just abject rage when I play it.
Yeah, you get pretty mad at that one.
And I'm trying to get mad and then laugh.
Yeah.
I'm trying to laugh it off instead of being like, put my fist in my table, kind of angry.
I'm sure you'll get to that point now. So
I hope so. I feel like I'm doing better in regards to that than I was early on because I've kind of given up to some degree.
Yeah.
I've gotten to just use the healing class, and I'm like, I'm gonna heal people, and I'm gonna put up a wall, and I'm gonna work the map. I can do that.
Yeah.
Because those mechanics are fine.
Yeah.
It's the shooting mechanics that make me angry.
It's the main gameplay.
Yeah, it's actually the thing where you shoot your gun that pisses me off. The thing where you got to aim it at someone's knees to hit them in the head. It's very strange. And what's weird is I'll have a round or two where, like the other day I was streaming it, and one of our teammates asked if I was playing on a Smurf account. Because
What's that?
So a Smurf account's like if I'm a platinum, but I don't want to play against the platinum, so I make a new account so I can play against rookies basically.
And just win a bunch?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I was like, no, I'm not. This is not a Smurf account. I'm garbage. I don't know what's happening, why I'm playing so well right now.
Yeah.
But I am. Then I'll turn around in the very next round, I'll just get shot in the head from across the map, or I'll spray at someone and shoot them 3 or 4 times in the body and then get shot in the head and die. The people are just they're just better than me, and my brain will not. I don't think I'll ever get good at that game.
I think that they've just been playing so long
Counter-Strike before this.
These broken ass games where the shooting mechanics don't make sense. So, their madness, they have a method to their madness.
Yeah, I think
they're used to it, I guess. I don't know.
They have to just be used to it in some way because that's the only way it makes any sense. Because I see these people play and they just instinctively, they're shooting with the Spectre and then the bullet starts going up and then they aim down and to the left just instinctively and then it hits people. And
that doesn't make any damn sense.
Literally at all. I'm having moments where I get into a flow and I do okay. I really want to like that game.
Yeah.
On paper, it's like, what if Overwatch was slower paced and more methodical.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, perfect. Like,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I want Overwatch to be. But it's like, what if Overwatch was slower, more methodical, and the guns shot in just random places?
And what if the barrels were just totally fucked?
Yeah, what it is that kills me is that in a normal game, you aim your reticle at a wall or at a target, and you hold down the trigger, and your reticle will bounce upward, and your bullets will follow that reticle bouncing upwards. You'll be hitting somewhere around that reticle. In Valorant, your reticle stays still, but your bullets hit different places.
Go all over the damn place.
They decouple, and it breaks my brain because there is no reality in which you full auto a gun and suddenly your bullets start hitting, 4 feet above where your red dot is, unless while you're shooting, your scope becomes totally unzeroed. It's not calibrated correctly. It's strange.
God, what if people had guns like that?
It would be madness.
Yeah.
How could you ever predict where your shots are going?
Yeah.
Like in PUBG, when I run up on somebody and I've got an M416 and a vertical grip and a stock and a compensator and a full auto, I know what that gun's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's not 100% predictable because there's recoil.
Yeah.
But it's predictable enough that I can pull down on my mouse and I can put rounds into somebody reliably because I know what the bullets are going to do enough that I can compensate for it. The way you compensate in Valorant is totally different.
Yeah.
And it's very,
chaotic.
very strange. Yeah, it's very, very strange to me. But there's times that I really enjoy that game.
Mm-hmm.
There's rounds I pick up the op, the one-shot sniper rifle, and I get 3 or 4 kills in a round, and I'm like, whew, that felt good.
Mm-hmm.
That felt nice. And then the next round, I shoot a guy 3 times, and he shoots me once in the head, and I die. And I'm like, that did not feel nice. That felt like I was better than that person, and they shot me one time in the right spot, and then I died. So, is what it is. Valorant is an interesting game. I'll definitely keep playing it, but it hurts my heart that I'm playing less of that. I'm playing less PUBG and more Valorant. That my life is shifting in that direction because PUBG is continuing its trajectory of a slow death.
I feel like it's time for me to jump on the PUBG bandwagon again. I stopped playing because I am bad at it.
Okay.
And now I feel like since it's consumed with bots.
Oh yeah, if you play like East Coast Eastern time, like 11 a.m. solos or duos, you're 80% bots.
Yeah. I feel like there was no way in hell I could have gone back into that game and like actually gotten anywhere close to the level that you and Jacob are. And I looked at Valorant and was like, no, I'm never going to play that. I'm not going to play that.
you would have to, at least to start off, pick a character that's a supplementary character like Sage, who's a healer, and say, I'm not going to worry about kills. I'm going to worry about being quick on my heals, quick on putting up my walls. I'm going to contribute in other ways, which is what I liked about Overwatch, playing as the angel chick. What's her name? Mercy, I think was her name.
Yeah.
I could heal. I could do that shit.
Or in Apex, Lifeline. I like her.
Lifeline.
I played as her when I played a little bit of Apex.
Yeah. But in pub, I mean, the bots are so incredibly stupid.
Yeah.
I had one the other day that we went into a town and it was like, oh, this is like halfway looted, so maybe there's enemies here. I walked over, didn't hear anything, opened up a door, and literally as the door opened, the bot just walks out. He's like, "What's up?" Like he was like waiting, literally like must have had his chest up against the door. Open it, he just like slipped out. And I kind of panicked because I don't know if it was a person or a bot. So I start, shooting at him, and I light him up a bit, and then I realize because he's running like a foot to his right, he would turn around, crouch, uncrouch, and then walk like 2 feet, and then turn around,
and you're like, okay.
Crouch, uncrouch, and walk 2 feet the other direction, back and forth. And I stopped shooting because I'm like, oh, this is a bot. Like this is it's clearly a bot. So I stop. I start laughing really hard.
Yeah.
He continues doing this weird crouch, walk, back and forth.
He's trying to be
thing.
evasive.
Yeah, he's like, you can't hit me. And so I pull up my shotgun and I just watch him. And he does it like 3 times. And then he stops and he turns and looks at me. And then I just shot him in the face because I was like, all right, now he's spotted me now. He's now aware of my existence. I don't know how he didn't notice me shooting at him when he literally like you're in like a crowd and you like brush past someone else, like kind of shrug him out of the way. He did that to me, but had no idea that I was there. They're so incredibly stupid.
That's why I want to jump in, and this is a good place for me to start.
10, 11 o'clock in the morning, you'll get some kills.
Yeah, it'll be really comedic too, and I'm going to start a campaign to get them to be able to drive.
I want the bots to be driving cars too.
Let's bots drive. That should be our hashtag for the show.
Let bots drive.
Let bots drive.
I got it. Yeah. I like it. Well, what have you been playing lately?
I have been actually playing a little bit of The Last of Us Part 2. I'm not going to go totally too into that just because of all the spoiler stuff and, you know, the heat around the game. It's not a game that I could pass up. I have to see where the story goes. I can't say that I'm as hooked as I was the first time with the Part 1.
Mm-hmm.
Not hooked like I was. Not the same game. I mean, it is the same game, but it's not, you know? It's all the same mechanics. It's the same layout. It's everything, but it's just not fueling my soul. Like, I'm not thinking about it when I'm not playing it like, ooh, I wonder what's going to happen next, you know?
Would you say that it is better or worse than a 5.4 out of 10?
I don't know that I can really say that. Yeah, it's better than that. I mean, I'd give it like a solid 7 or 8.
Based on, you know.
It
looks good. It's not broken. It's well acted.
I will put it this way. I enjoy playing it for the mechanics.
Sure.
For the stealth kills.
You've not seen
for the combat. For the gunplay. The exploration. But...
You've not seen the story in its totality yet, so you can't really give it a...
I'm not going to say anything about the story because it's...
Well, there's spoilers and so forth. I've not played it at all.
Yeah.
And I might play it, I might not. I honestly don't know. The Last of Us was in my top 2 or 3 favorite games of all time. I have no interest in playing The Last of Us Part 2 simply because I loved the ending of the first one so much, the open-ended nature, the room for interpretation of, you know, did she know he was lying? What does that mean? All these possibilities I could ruminate on and think about, and I don't really want to see those characters again. I don't want to know what happened to them after that. I want to be able to imagine, because to me it's more interesting to be able to imagine in my head all these possibilities and what they would entail. That being said, if someone plays The Last of Us Part 2 and loves it, then good for you. If you hate it, I guess that's your prerogative.
I would say based on what I've played so far, I wouldn't recommend it to you. I do think that the initial magic would be ruined for you because they do answer those questions that you don't want the answer to.
Right.
And if you just want to play The Last of Us, again, just play that.
Right.
Now, I am curious. I didn't look into it. Is there's like multiplayer on this one or no?
I don't believe there is.
There's not. See, that's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
They had good multiplayer.
The multiplayer in the first one was incredible, and that's another reason that, you know, we were talking, you know, the people I played the first multiplayer with, we were talking about, I was like, guys, there's no multiplayer in this one. And it was kind of like a shock. Everybody was like, what do you mean? I'm like, yeah, there's no multiplayer.
And there was like a really decent beefy fan base for that.
It was really good. It reminded me of like SOCOM or something. It was very tactical and it was awesome.
Yeah.
By the way, the reason I said 5.4, that is the average Metacritic user score.
Oh, I know.
So it currently has 57,000 negative reviews and 60,000 positive reviews.
Everybody's so fucking mad. I don't want to go into that
incredibly
right now.
split on that game.
It's so far, I'm about halfway through. It's not that bad. But a good game that I'm playing that deserves a much higher score as well. I'm replaying Rise of the Tomb Raider on PC, and I'm probably going to replay Shadow, this will be like the 3rd or 4th time I've played Shadow.
You really like that franchise.
I did. Yes. Tomb Raider's my shit. Next to Uncharted. Tomb Raider's not as good as Uncharted, unfortunately.
I was going to ask you. So you would say that the Uncharted franchise is a little bit better than the rebooted.
I guess like
Raider of Tombs.
I think I have more fun playing Uncharted. Even with like the replay value, I still have more fun. But that's just because there's the intention that you are going to have fun. It's a fun story, fun characters. You know, there are heavy elements to it. But that's one thing that Tomb Raider lacks a little bit of is, you know, I'm sorry, but they need to lighten up just a little bit, you know?
You don't find that the exploration factor in Tomb Raider lends itself to more replayability than the Uncharted franchise?
Tomb Raider's more linear.
The first Tomb Raider of the reboot, there was a lot more...
I guess, yeah.
I guess they got more linear as they went, though.
Well, I think what it is that the main story is so linear, and Uncharted was too. This last one is a little more open. I guess actually no, I do enjoy the exploration part more in Tomb Raider, because there's a lot of side quests. I've forgotten about that. There was like a ton of DLC that I got. And I was like, I need more. I need more of this. Like, I want to be in this area longer. Yeah. So I'll put, like, I enjoy treasure hunting in Tomb Raider a lot more than Uncharted.
Maybe the first playthrough, Uncharted, is probably a little better, but then the subsequent playthroughs, Tomb Raider probably gives you a little bit more to come back to.
Yeah, definitely.
Probably a fair place to put them. That's cool. I know you've been going back and replaying those. I'm not a big replay person. I typically play a game once and I'm on to the next one. If I replay something, then I really, really, really liked it.
I mean that's there's only a few games I'll sit there and replay. Like I've got the Uncharted collection on the PS4 still. I will replay it. Tomb Raider is always going to be like, I'm not going to uninstall that. What's another one I've played twice? I played House Flipper twice because I lost all of my progress.
They're great. The Great House Flipper. Tremendous game.
It really is a great game, but they need to fix it. There are a few games. Stardew Valley, I'll replay. But that's an open-ended game. It's creative.
Right. You can go back and play it again. We were both playing a lot of Animal Crossing there to start, and we both just kind of stopped playing Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing was distracting me from the fact that I did not want to be alive because of all the things that were happening in the world.
Yeah, I mean it is probably the greatest escapism game that has probably ever existed, and it sold tremendously well.
I mean, part of me wants to go back and play some more, but then it's like I'm
afraid of what my villagers will say to me. They'll be like, where the fuck have you been?
I didn't play for like 3 months, and I jumped back in, and they were all just like, oh, it's good to see you again. You know, like they didn't make me feel guilty like in the original games. Like you get there and like half your village is gone.
They're crying.
Your house is full of cockroaches.
We thought you were dead.
Your
weeds everywhere.
Yeah, your boss is like, I'm gonna have to take your house from you.
You've missed 3 mortgage payments. It's all over for you.
But I just don't know that I need that right now. Like right now, I need to be in my actual life. You know, I know that Animal Crossing is there waiting for me when I want to escape, but I don't want to right now.
I'll go back to it eventually. I'm like, you can swim now. You know? I'm like, ooh.
I got really irritated with the Bunny Day shit.
Oh my God, the Bunny Day stuff was horrible.
I think that was a lot of what made me...
That dude in the freaking courtyard just kind of bouncing and clapping and shit.
And all the eggs. The eggs really... I think that was a huge part of...
They're going to find that rabbit
the downfall for me.
In a ditch with a bunch of eggs lodged in his throat.
No, that's horrible.
There's going to be like a little turtle cop that's like, it looks like they shoved a bunch of eggs down his throat and killed him.
That's basically the plot from the 90s movie Jawbreaker.
Yeah, basically. That's how it's going to happen.
That movie scarred me for life when I was younger. So
that's how it's going to happen.
Thank you for bringing that back up with the poor Bunny Day guy.
So we just finished watching the UB Forward event, and honestly, we had a couple of interesting things here. More like more than I kind of expected. Like EA held their event. Obviously, there's no E3 this year, so these companies are holding their own events to basically make up for the fact that there's no E3 this year. Sadly, COVID-19. So EA had theirs, and I really didn't care. There's nothing there. I mean, Apex getting crossplay going to the Switch. That's cool.
All right.
That was about it.
Yeah.
No Madden on the Switch announced. That bums me out. So didn't
That's
have a
just
whole.
because they're working on it so hard that
Oh,
it's
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
be
yeah.
like it's gonna be
It's gonna
like
be
VR
incredible.
Madden or some crap.
I actually
on
know
the Switch.
I know exactly why Madden is done on the Switch, and if you go to youtube.com/scary if literal, you too can find out because I made a video exactly about this question because it bothers me that deeply. But Ubisoft actually did really well. They started off talking about it was Watch Dogs, which I don't give two
Yeah.
shits about Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
Then they talked about Rainbow Six Siege, which is a game that I honestly need to get back into because that game is still going. I think they said
I
they're up
wanted to
to
see what was going on there.
I think they said they're up to like 60 million players. It's unbelievable. That game, there are so many playable characters now, so many maps. They keep remaking their old maps. Like their community support has been unbelievable. So I kind of want to get back into Rainbow Six Siege. Thought that was pretty cool. Then they talked about Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which looks okay. I played the original Assassin's Creed, thought it was okay. I played the second one, thought it was a little bit better. Did not play any more Assassin's Creed games. I didn't. I was like, yeah, they're fine. I played the first two. They're exactly the same as the rest. I thought about playing the pirate one. Never tried it. Valhalla looks awesome. The idea of like rolling up into places, taking over villages, building your shit up, conquering places, having relationships with neighboring, like, whatever people in charge,
Communities.
kings, communities, whatever. I don't know what the proper terminology be for this era and these sorts of people, but I'm peaceful with these people. These people I'm not good with. That stuff looks awesome.
So for me, like, I feel a little sad about taking over the villages. I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'd want
Depends
to do
on
that.
if they looked at you wrong or not.
Well, it's true. Okay. Well, yeah, that's true. I get mad. So I played the Assassin's Creed where you were in New England and you play as like a Native American character.
Yeah, that's the one I heard that it takes like 6 hours before like anything starts happening.
Yes, that's true. So I played that
Horrible.
one. I didn't finish it, but I played a lot of it and I really enjoyed it because there was a lot of crafting aspects, a lot of exploration. It was not your typical Assassin's Creed. All the other ones I tried to play, I had no idea what the hell was going on. I couldn't follow, and the combat was just like, honestly, that is why I don't play Assassin's Creed. I do not like the combat. And then you had gotten me Black Flag for the PS3. It was on sale or free or something.
It might have been a PlayStation Plus.
I think it was. And I tried to play that game, and it was just so broken. Like, I just couldn't. Like, my character just kept, like I was trying to run from, like, some guards, and I took off, and he just would not stop running. Like, and I just got in this situation I couldn't get out of, and I was overwhelmed. And I was like, no, I don't like this game.
Right.
But this is, we've had a few games from between then and now. And also the Vikings. That whole situation, to me, I love it. It looks really intriguing. I do like that you can play as a male or female.
Yes, I appreciate that. That's pretty cool.
I mean, that's just pretty cool. That's just not like a thing that you normally get in that style game. I'll probably still play as a male just because he's like really cool looking. He reminds me.
See, that's weird because I might play as the female. If I get to create a character, I almost always pick a girl, and I don't know what that is.
I mean,
men are
it's
just
like
gross. That's what it is.
Well, I don't feel that way.
I don't want to look at a man.
I don't
Ugh.
feel like men are, always gross.
But when I pick a girl, like in PUBG, I will then put on some sort of dinosaur mask.
Yeah.
So you don't know that it's a
Yeah.
girl, but I know.
That's funny. Maybe we just enjoy looking at the opposite sex.
I don't know. There's
Like
something...
for me, I like to role play that I'm that character,
I don't do that. I don't necessarily get lost in the character.
No, I do that when I play Skyrim. Like if I'm playing any race other than like an orc, I'm normally a dude. But if I play an orc, I'm like, I'm going to be a beautiful, fabulous orc lady who's independent and strong. Anyways, back to Valhalla. I want the settlement building thing. That's what I want.
Depending on how they execute it, it could be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm into.
Yeah, the combat looks pretty neat.
I thought the combat looked kind of
I don't know. The dude jumped and threw a tomahawk at somebody's chest. I thought that was pretty rad.
What I noticed, though, in what they were showing us, and I don't know if it's just still because it's a work in progress, but it looks so jittery and disjointed, and like there's a lot of stuff that was happening. Maybe I just need to like really zoom in and look at it, but it was just like kind of weird looking.
We were watching it on Twitch, so maybe we get a better quality looking thing. Actually, no, that's not true. We're watching it on YouTube, and YouTube's live stream, is garbage.
Okay,
if it was
maybe
on Twitch,
that's what
it would have looked a lot better. It might have been easier to tell.
Okay, I'll take another look at it because I thought it just looked
that
bad.
looked like poo poo.
Yeah.
So then the last thing that they showed was a very super duper cinematic reveal of Far Cry 6. Starring what's his name? He was in Breaking Bad.
I just know him as the Chicken Man.
Yeah, the Pollos Loco dude. Esposito's his last name. Hang on. Far Cry 6. Is that his last name?
I don't know.
I might have made that up. Yeah, Esposito. Oh my God. I'm gonna
let me look at it.
Let me just butcher this name. Giancarlo Esposito. Giancarlo. Great actor.
Good. Sounds good to me.
Great actor. And in Breaking Bad, he played this sort of this tycoon, this king, this untouchable man. And in this trailer, he's ruling this war-torn country, this country that's in a revolt of some sort. He's teaching
it's Mexico,
his son,
and they're very into revolutionary stuff.
Did they specifically tell? Like, I know it was some sort of a Spanish, I would imagine Central American sort of country, something like that. South American.
They didn't say. I guess I shouldn't assume, but he was just speaking Spanish,
right? Something in that general. A lot of the times they will make a fictionalized country.
Okay,
And
it just
place
reminds
it in a
me a
region.
lot of Mexico because they're
For
just
sure.
very like into the liberty.
Yeah, well, there's a history of unfortunately for those people of lots of strife and hints of drug trafficking and some bad things that we all know unfortunately
some iffy leaders
go on in those areas. Unfortunately for those people, and he dude plays that role brilliantly well. I thought that as a cinematic goes, that's about as good as it gets. Now, look, I want to see some gameplay. I want to know what the game's going to look like, how it's going to play. But as far as a cinematic to get me excited about something, well done.
What was the kid's name?
I don't remember. I don't know. I don't do names.
Okay. We're going to call him Carl. And I hope that Carl is going to be who we play as. I want to play as him.
I don't maybe there's like a time jump or like you're a child.
No, I want to play. Yeah, I think it'd be really cool if you're playing as a child and in this
murderous child, a kid that's just mowing people down to get back to kill his dad.
Well, maybe the plot is that he's trying to fight against that, but his dad is clearly grooming him to like murder some people.
Yeah, it is interesting to think about what dynamic will that play?
Because he's in there, he's listening to music, he's painting his model car, and his dad it's beautiful, but it's worthless. It's pointless. Get out here.
Yeah.
Look at this.
He's showing them the real world, what they're actually dealing with. He's not letting him. Then that's interesting too that he's grooming him. He's not letting him shelter himself from the reality that they're in. And I mean, clearly, dude doesn't look like a good guy. So I'm super intrigued about where this story is gonna go and kind of what it's gonna look like. I thought Far Cry 5. Really, I've enjoyed all the Far Cry games, and Far Cry 5 was quite good. I didn't like that you couldn't have the dog in the passenger seat with you.
Yeah.
But other than that,
God, that was
frustrating.
game-breaking.
He would run next to the car. I felt terrible about it. But Far Cry 5 was very good.
Turns out you're the monster in Far Cry 5.
And Far Cry has this long track record of having really good villains.
Yeah.
Troy Baker's character from, I think that was Far Cry 5.
They're always guys.
But they're good. They're really interesting. So, I'm intrigued. So I think Ubisoft, well done. They didn't really, show off a ton of things, but what they showed, we're pretty good.
Let me be this teen boy in all of this trauma. That's what I want. I mean,
traumatized boy.
Imagine
trauma
though,
boy.
Imagine how epic that would be, though.
Guys, hopefully you've enjoyed our first episode back. Like we said earlier, calling this Scary If Literal, revived, obviously, a callback to the fact that we're bringing back this podcast. I think that's a pretty cool name. So if you guys like it, we're going to be on iTunes. I'm going to have us everywhere podcasts are found. So please, leave us reviews where you can. Anything you can do to help push us forward. We're going to be super appreciative. If you want to head to scaryifliteral.com, you'll see links to our YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff, and also ways to support what we're doing, because it's not just a podcast. We're doing a whole bunch of good stuff. So check out the rest of it. See what you think. And if you enjoy it, don't hesitate to, either drop us a couple dollars or something if you can. We'll be super appreciative. Or use some of the links in our YouTube videos to buy some stuff that would help pay the bills as well. So yeah, I think that's one down, and however many more to go. We'll see how far we go this time.
500.
We're going to try and get to 500 this time.
Yeah.
Here's another thing. I don't know if this is going to be every week or every 2 weeks. We've not decided yet. So let's put this out here. You guys tell us what you think, and we'll get back with you and tell you when we're going to be back. Maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks. I don't know. So let's close it like we always used to. Until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.